Hey guys, welcome back. We are talking about the bombshell today.
Oh Lord. And y'all, this is Crimes and Theories. Go subscribe to her channel. She's pinned down in the description. Awesome content. Let's keep it going.
I knew this truck would come back into play at some point in time because there is just too much suspicion around it. The day has came where we can now start talking about it. Robbie Harvey dropped a powerful bombshell this morning that leads us back to this famous picture. The picture that broke the internet early on in Mica's case. John Paul Miller and Susie Skinner.
You were the one who took the picture of John Paul and Susie in the restaurant parking lot just days after Mica's death.
Oh Lord.
Correct.
Angela Clark, one of Mica Miller's own friends, was on a date with her husband when she saw John Paul Miller and Susie Skinner.
We walked back through the mall and exited up near where the restaurant was. And as we were walking toward our car, because the mall was closed, there weren't many cars there. I would say maybe 5, 6 cars in the area that we were parked.
Uh-oh.
And as we walked toward the car, I
Oh, hey, my mom's in the chat. Hey, Mom. What are you doing?
looked up and there was a car with a
Love you,
solid
Mom.
rock sticker on the back of it. And I remember clearly thinking, God, what are you trying to say right now? I just need a break from this right now. You know, my heart was hurting. And as I looked up, I saw the profile of a man and realized very quickly that it was John Paul. I did not know the woman that was with him, but it was clear that there was a very serious conversation going on. They were standing very closely together. It was
Oh, hell.
disturbing to me. I had been told about Susie by Mica. I do not know Susie. I did not know what she looked like. I didn't know anything about her. But my husband just kind of squeezed my hand and said, you know, let's just get in the car. As we were backing out, I told my husband to stop for a second, and I just snapped the picture really quickly, more out of curiosity whether this was the woman that Mica had shared with me she felt like John Paul was having an affair with. And I sent it to someone who would know, and to find out if that was who it was, because it was clear, one man, one woman, kind of an intimate looking setting in a parking lot.
Hell.
Very serious conversation. To me, as her friend, it went all over me. I was very upset. As we backed out, he looked up right when I snapped the picture. I don't know that he knew it was us. He would have known us. I mean, we were very much in their lives. We did life with them when we were at the church. So we traveled together. We had dinner together. We did things together. So he would have known us. But as we backed out, John Paul kind of ran between the cars closer toward our car, kind of threw his hands up like he was disgusted.
After the photo was taken, John Paul Miller, who drove separately from Susie that night, jumped into his truck, and he began to follow Angela and her husband.
And as we pulled out, the truck ran up on our bumper. We made the left. The truck made the left. He followed us around that frontage road, following us very closely on our bumper. And you have to realize this is a completely empty parking lot.
Oh, hell.
And, you know, there's part of me, I know that my friend has been shot in the head. I don't know the details of her death at this point. I do know the stories that I was being told by her. And my husband's ex-police. He's not scared of John Paul. I mean, he knows how to handle himself in every situation. He's pretty good at it. And he was pretty angry, you know, that he was following us like that. And I mean, let's face it, emotions were raw. We were raw. You know what I mean? Mica had come back into our lives, you know, within that last month. And we had not seen her or been around her other than just cordially social, you know, just in public settings, hugged her neck, you know, that kind of thing. And we had really connected. She was going to church with us. She was, Mica was doing well. So I was really in a bad place with her death. I just, knowing the stories that she had been telling me and how rough things had been for her, I just didn't want a confrontation with John Paul.
All right, here's the bombshell. What makes her statement so powerful in this case is the fact that she saw John Paul Miller driving a charcoal gray truck.
He drove this dark gray.
Whoa. And that's the one from the gas station video, allegedly?
Ford F-150. And we've all seen the surveillance footage, and there is a dark Ford F-150 circling the gas station parking lot multiple times. And though we don't know if that's the truck that John Paul owns, but what do you think? Do you think that could be the truck?
I've definitely had that feeling. I had a very strong feeling about that from the beginning. I brought it to several people. Everybody kind of dismissed it. Everybody was talking about a blue truck. I wasn't even aware. Like I said, John Paul wasn't really in our life. We had seen him before Mica reconnected with me. We saw him at Barnes & Noble and Market Common. He was definitely driving the silver truck that day. We all went to the parking lot at the same time. He got in the truck in front of us and drove off. And then, of course, the incident in the mall parking lot, he was in that dark truck as well. And someone said to me, no, he's got a blue truck. And I'm like, I don't know if he's got a blue truck or not. He was definitely driving a dark gray truck both times that we've seen him.
Why is this information just now coming to light? Because Angela's statement has been written off since the very beginning due to the simple fact that John Paul Miller doesn't have a gray truck registered underneath his name. But that's okay, because this guy does. Mark Kaufman. Mark Kaufman, aka John Paul Miller's best friend.
Oh, hell.
Best man, and at the time, co-owner of Crocodile Rocks. Now, former members of Solid Rock have seen John Paul driving Mark's truck, but if you wanted to double check and go check out Mark's truck yourself, you can't, because it was sold a few weeks after Mica Miller's death.
Dang.
If we needed any more proof that JP intended to take out Mica in any way that he could, the Lord provided. Because in February, hours before Mica was admitted to the hospital, John Paul placed a very important phone call to a family law firm looking for help on a divorce. This woman, Melissa, answered that call.
He used the words that he had forced her into the mental hospital, and that as of that day, she was in the mental hospital.
Thank you.
And the call was on February 7th. He went on to say she'd been in and out of the mental hospital 5 to 6 times. He actually used the words, I've tricked her into getting help. And she's been in and out of the mental hospital 5 to 6 times.
Oh, hell, that's crazy.
One of the things that stuck out to me in the call is that he continuously kept reiterating that he was a pastor. And it was like, okay, to say that the first time or two, that's fine. You know, you're just giving me your background. But when he continued to say it throughout the entire call, especially as he was talking about her mental health and the reasons that he wanted a divorce, to me, it was a red flag, almost like you weren't trying to just tell me who you were, but rather make me believe that you were a good person or maybe build some type of character. So one of the questions he did keep asking me in the call was, is my attorney a shark? Was his exact words that he used. And so I answered it politically correct. I said, well, she's very passionate about her clients. She will work hard for you. If she represents you, you know, she will fight with passion, like it's her own case.
Oh, damn. Diamond, thank you.
That wasn't a good enough answer for him. He kept saying, well, I really need a shark. And towards the end of the call, one of the statements that really stuck out to me as a red flag is he used the words, I need someone who can destroy her.
So if you guys remember Mica,
oh, hell,
as best friend Charlotte's interview, coming out multiple times saying that she knew JP was tracking Mica the day of her passing. And this video footage at the pawn shop of a truck pulling into the parking lot and pulling out quickly, which also, by the way, I think this truck right here is actually blue. Is it now accurate to say John Paul Miller knew where Mica was that day? If it were him driving that truck, if it was someone he knew driving that truck, the evidence is piling up. Remember, We still don't have proof of John Paul being at that soccer game that day. No, just a picture of the blue truck on a highway. Now, another huge question in this case. Where's the truck, Mark? Why did you sell your truck, Mark? Is it because your jackass friend tailgated someone in it shortly after it was already caught on multiple camera angles at the same gas station Mica was last seen at? Those are
That would be crazy as hell.
some pretty big questions you need to answer. Huge, huge bombshell today, you guys. I really feel like this was the kind of video, the kind of information that needed to happen in Mica's case. Huge credit to Robbie Harvey. Amazing job. Let's keep the ball rolling and let's just keep talking about it and praying that we can get some justice for Mica.